Hello, it's me again. Today I'm going to show you my Disney's Pinocchio video CD collection. So I have three different versions of Disney's Pinocchio. The first one is the one distributed by Ardya Insani International. The second one is distributed by Buddha Video. And the last one is distributed by Vision. So these are three legal distributors. So these video CDs are not pirated versions, these are all original versions with license. But the actual partner for Disney is actually Vision. So Vision has the privilege to release newer version of Disney movies. So if there's a remastered version, if there's a restored version, so that's going to be distributed by Vision. And also Vision distributed newer Disney movies, and even up until this moment is the official distributor for Disney movies in Indonesia. So newer movies like The Big Hero 6, The Incredibles 2, you name it, they're all distributed by Vision. The other two, they're all legal. They have the rights to distribute these movies, but they only can distribute the movie before they were restored, or just old movies, so the picture quality won't be as pristine as the newer version or the remastered version. So whenever Disney make a new version, like say a platinum edition or a special edition or diamond edition, we all go to Vision. So these other two, the Ardya Insani and Buddha Video, they cannot release those versions, so they can only release the old version of the movie. So they all look very old. They look like perhaps the original version of the movie before any attempt of restoration. So I'm going to show you all three versions of this movie. I'm going to show you the package, the design of the disc, and then later I'm going to show you a comparison. On the screen, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison, and I'm going to give my comment about the side-by-side comparison. The comparison would be between the Ardya Insani and the newer version, the platinum edition from Vision. But then I'm going to show you also the version, the Buddha video version, but that's going to be separated from the side-by-side comparison, because this particular version is quite different from the other two. And I'm going to show you, of course, with the Buddha, it's bilingual. It's in Indonesian and in English, so I'm going to show you the English and Indonesian dubbed in that particular version. So now let's just take a look at this Pinocchio video CD collection. So last time I showed you my Disney Snow White video CD collection, and I showed you three different versions of this movie, the before the restoration and after the restoration. So three different versions of the same movie. And I happen to have also three different versions of the same movie, that is Pinocchio. And these three versions are from the three similar distributor as Snow White. So this one is from Vision, the Platinum Edition, and I also have the one from Buddha Video. Take a look at that. And the last one is the video CD from Ardya Insani International. So three different versions of the same movie, and similar to Snow White, it's all from three different movie distributors. Now I'm going to show you from the first one. Take a look at this one. This is the one by Ardya Insani International. Take a look at the design of the front cover. Pinocchio and all the characters. It's similar to these. It's in the cartoon collection selection. So Ardya Insani released a lot of these animations in this particular selection. Take a look at that. Pinocchio. And this is the design for the back cover. Take a look at that, a monstro and some screen from the movie. It's rather difficult to take the disc out because this is actually just a paper box, and they put the disc inside, and it's going to take some effort. And if the disc, or no, if the package is broken, it's going to be very difficult to find a replacement, and I can't find a replacement for this kind of package design of a video CD. So similar with that, Sleeping Beauty and Fantasia and many other. All that I know is that they also released Lady and the Tramp, The Sword in the Stone, maybe Jungle Book, but since I already have other versions, I didn't purchase those until now. The store is closing, and I cannot find any of those. Now move to the next one is the version from Buddha Video. Take a look at the design for the front cover. It looks rather similar as the design for the one by Ardya Insani, but the back cover is different, and to me it is less appealing, but we'll just see the design of the disc. Take a look at that. So this version is bilingual, just like Snow White version, but the design of the disc is better than the Ardya Insani. This is bilingual, and they also released old Disney movies. All that I know is also like Cinderella and Peter Pan and even Fantasia. Now is the last one and the best version possible that we can have now, of course in Blu-ray and in the new signature collection, but I do not have now at the moment. All I have is this version. Take a look at that. This is the remastered, or let's say restored, because Pinocchio is a very old movie. It has a special bonus, this one, and take a look at the design for the disc. This is 2 discs. There are a lot of special features in this particular package, and that is amazing to see behind the scene and all the documentaries of Pinocchio. Is great. They don't make DVDs like this anymore. And this is the bonus. The bonus material is for you to place your photo inside, and and put it like that. So insert your photo and all, and then you can put it on the desk or somewhere you like. So this is the best possible version that we can get, not in the matter of resolution, because of course Blu-ray, but in the matter of version. So this version is the best version so far in the restoration, because I suspect that the new signature collection is just going to use the same master as the platinum edition. So now I'm going to show you the side-by-side comparison between the Ardya Insani International version and Vision version. So the unaltered version and the restored version. I'm not using the Buddha Video as the comparison, because this version is an altered version, although it's not restored or remastered. But this particular company changed a lot of the scenes. They changed the song, they changed the music, they changed the background music and background sound effects. So that is very extreme. They cut a lot of portions of the movie, so I'm not going to use the Buddha Video version, but I'm going to show that separately after the side-by-side comparison. So now let's just start the side-by-side comparison of the same movie, Disney's Pinocchio, from 2 different versions from 2 different movie distributors. Okay, now we're going to compare 4 different scenes. The first one is the opening credit. The second one is the Blue Fairy scene. The third one is when Monstro attacks scene. And the last one is when Monstro goes crazy scene. So let's just start now with the first one. Take a look at that, the title, the clarity in the newer version. I think it's pretty clear which one is which. On the right is the restoration version, and on the left is the old version. And take a look at that, the color of the name. On the left it looks kind of white, and on the right is blue. It's more vivid. And I think what the animator intended, it was what happened on the right. You can see the texture of the wood and all, everything's just more vivid and more clear. It's very, very amazing to see the difference and how big the difference really is. Take a look at that. And this is the second one, the blue fairy scene. Take a look at that. What's happening on the left, or the old version, is that whenever the blue fairy comes or she performs the magic, she looks like very bright. It's too bright that we barely see her. Take a look at that. But other scenes are all too dark, so we cannot see the detail in the background. So if we look at this, we're missing a lot of things because it's just too dark. Take a look at that. And that's the blue fairy. The contrast in the newer version is amazing, and this is very, very different. Take a look at that. It's too bright and almost everything is just white. But with the newer version, it's better. And this is the monster attack scene. Take a look at that. When monster opens his mouth, and that's Geppetto inside, we can see the difference in color. Take a look at the texture of Monstro's mouth is different. And the bone, take a look at that. The bone of Monstro, its backbone, is very clear in the remastered version, but it's all just pitch black in the old version. Again, the background, we're missing a lot of things. The detail in the background, there's not really clear. I don't know whether this is really what they're seeing in theater back in 1940, or this is just because of a poor mastering quality of the studio. But I've seen older versions of movies like this, you know, people were pretty much losing a lot of things when, you know, the video was kind of old. They still couldn't see everything that the picture can offer. But with the restoration, take a look at that. The bone of Monstro moving and all is very, very, very vivid and very clear. That's Vigoro. And take a look at the wood. Everything is just crystal clear with the newer version, and better, way better. I grew up watching the older version because there's no such thing as it was before Blu-ray and before the restoration. Even with the DVD back in the early 2000s, the restoration wasn't this good. Take a look at that. The sea, the color of the sea is very, very different. Now I think we're going to move to the next scene, which is when Monstro goes wild. This is it. Take a look at that. The color of the water, the splashing of water is very different. The texture of water in the newer version is just amazing. It's more vibrant. Take a look at that. The blue. There are you know, different types of blue and different spectrum of blue, and then the newer version is able to capture that and show that all to you. Because if you watch the Platinum Edition and you watch the behind the scene and they explain how long it took for them to make that ocean, that texture of the sea like that, just amazing. Well, maybe it's not like it's destroying your you know, your fun in watching the movie, but knowing that there's this restoration version that looks much better than this, and this is just amazing. So even though they're on the same format, just like what happened on Snow White, but this one is a different format actually. The Pinocchio is on DVD, and the Platinum Edition is on DVD, and the non-remastered version is on video CD. But what we learned from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is that it's not about the format. It's not about the resolution of the movie. It's not about that. So the restoration is not just about enhancing the picture resolution. It's just not like that. So with what happened that we experienced with from video CD to DVD and from DVD to Blu-ray, they're all the increase in resolution. So they're basically from the same master file, and then it's distributed in different formats and the limitations of those formats, those that what we experience with each different format. So with video CD, its resolution is lower, and with the DVD is higher, and the Blu-ray is much higher, but actually the same. So as you witness here, it's not a matter of resolution. So restoration is not like that. It's beyond that. It's really kind of capturing the movie frame by frame and restoring all for its best possible version. And now we've seen the comparison between the older version and the remastered version of Pinocchio, and I might going to upload this side-by-side comparison without commentary later on, but I'm afraid I have to delete the audio of that because it's going to be a copyright claim from Disney if I show you the video with the sound. So, but later I'm going to upload that version without this commentary. And we've seen that it's done. Now let's move to the next one, which is the Buddha video version of Pinocchio. Okay, so apparently Windows Media Player refused to play Pinocchio, the Buddha version. We're going to need a different software. Let's open the file and take a look at that. We're going to open with a different software. Let's try to use VLC Media Player. Okay, and we wait. And this is it, Pinocchio the Buddha version from Buddha Video, and you might notice that this version skips all of the opening credits, so there's no opening title, there's no opening credit and all. This is what I've been talking about. They cut a lot of portions of the movie, a lot of parts of the movie, so it's very difficult to make a comparison, a side-by-side comparison between this version and the other versions because of that. And they did this for all of the Disney movies because they want to fit the entire movie on a single disc, because if you notice the previous versions, they're all on 2 discs. And this is the blue fairy scene that we've seen the comparison previously. Take a look at that. It's not much better than the older version. Still, the brightness is take a look at this scene of the blue fairy. It's just bright, but it's too bright, and the contrast is not really good. It's the background is still it's still dark. There's no much improvement in this one because I suspect that this is a newer version than the Ardya Insani International. Look, judging from the color and the texture, this is probably a newer transfer of the movie, not as old as the Ardya Insani, but still it looks pretty awful because this one is the resolution of it is kind of, if you look, it looks lower than the Ardya Insani, even though they both are the same format, their own video CD, but the quality is lower. It's more pixelated. But take a look at that. Take a look at that monstrous bone. You can still see that bone very clearly, so I suspect that this is probably a newer transfer of that, because Pinocchio was kind of released multiple times in theaters and it's been remastered multiple times prior to the Platinum Edition. So maybe this is a newer version, but not as good, of course. It's too far away if we compare this from the Platinum Edition. Of course, Platinum Edition is just way better than this one, but the contrast of this movie is somewhat better than the Ardya Insani International, but still, this is the worst video CD of Pinocchio in terms of quality, because they're forcing this on a disc, while others they won't sacrifice the quality to fit the entire movie on a disc. And this particular version is it's more pixelated than the other two, and this is interlaced. So what's interesting is that I think these video CDs they're interlaced, so they're not progressive. But a a lot of video CDs that I have from Vision, even from Ardya Insani International, even though they're initially interlaced, they support the progressive scan. So if you watch the movie on TV nowadays, you won't notice the interlaced kind of artifacts. But with the Buddha video versions, you can notice the interlaced artifacts. It's very clear that it is interlaced, and I tried to use different player. I tried to use a Blu-ray player and still see that interlaced on the screen, and that's kind of bothering me and bothering people when they watch the movie. But again, as the reason why I bought Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from this distributor is that because this is bilingual, so English and Indonesian language in the stereo, left channel for the Indonesian and the right channel for the English version. Now I have shown you 3 different versions of Pinocchio from Disney, with possibly from different restoration. From as we saw, the Buddha version is more the color is better. I think we can see more detail compared to the older version, the Ardya Insani, because I suspect that the Ardya is the original version, maybe because it looks very old, and they released very old movies a lot of times. And well, all of their releases, they're all old movies actually, most of their releases. And I've shown you that, and this is very interesting, and I might going to show you other movies, because I still have Bambi and Dumbo and Cinderella and Peter Pan, maybe, you know, old Disney movies. There are a lot of old Disney movies released by these distributors, and I might want to do that because it's very interesting to see the difference and how we take it for granted for this kind of restoration, and to see the difference is just fascinating. You know, the advancements of technology. So, you know, feeling so grateful that we can experience these movies, these old movies, in their glorious, you know, color and all, as the animators intended them to look like. Because with the older versions, older technologies were limited. They cannot show you all the colors and all. And that's it about Pinocchio video CD. This is the last. You know, this is the closing the closing moment of this video. I'm going to say thank you if you're still with me up until this very moment. If you like this video, please consider to hit the like button, and please consider to subscribe maybe. And once again, I sincerely say thank you very much, and goodbye.